Hey, what's happening? Jesse Watson here with DOS Pros. Just walking through this listing, just finished showing my clients, and the thought crossed my mind. There's a lot of information now that many people, all of you all, have been inundated with about the changes that's happening in the industry. And so I want to talk specifically to my sellers who are looking to list their property to sell. You have some choices now, especially when it comes to commission for the buyer's agent. Really for the agent that you use to list your property to, but specifically commission to the buyer's agent. So here's what you're looking at. You can say, as a seller, I'm going to do the traditional way. I'm going to set an established commission for the buyer's agent. And so outside of what you would set aside to take care of your listing agent, you can say, hey, I'm going to pay buyer's agent 1%, 2%, 2.5%, 3%, whatever. Just know and understand, I said this before on one of my other videos, sometimes that could determine how long you sit on the market. Because whomever is considering buying your property, they got to call your agent. You got to give the disclosure for them to be able to share that information, and then they'll talk through it. Number two choice you have to make, or can make, is you can decide that you're not going to pay the buyer's agent at all. And you can say, hey, put my house on the market, I'm going to take care of you as my listing agent, but I'm not paying the buyer's agent at all. You have that choice now, and the buyer has to determine what they're going to do to make sure that their agent is taken care of. The third option, which is new, seller concessions are not new. Seller concessions have been a part of the industry, been a part of the buying process. And seller concessions is normally money just set aside from the seller to the buyer to use towards their closing costs. A lot of times buyers need help at the closing table, so sellers put seller concessions aside for that. Or sometimes you find yourself negotiating after the inspections and they say, hey, we're going to give you money in lieu of repairs, and you have seller concessions. Well, now, as a seller, you can put seller concessions on the table, and let's just say on a $400,000 house. If someone is buying your house with an FHL conventional loan, especially conventional, depending on how much they're putting down, you have a limit of 6% in seller concessions that you can give to the buyer. So on a $400,000 house, you're talking about max $24,000. So let's just say you decide, hey, I'm going to set aside, $12,000 in seller concessions. And that's for you, buyer, to use however you want based off what's allowable for your closing costs, buying down your interest rate, or also including taking care of your realtor. So that's our third option now, is for seller concessions. Now, the agent that you choose to list your property, you need to make sure that they're really professional and know what they're doing. And they know how to communicate, they know how to negotiate, and they don't have an issue with that, because it can get a little tricky. But either way, I just want to share this with you guys who are listing. You have some choices now when it comes to listing your property and taking care of the buyer's agent. Something to think about. I know you're probably going to have questions. Hit the like button here on this YouTube channel, thumbs up, hit the bell so you can get the latest and greatest. But more importantly, reach out if you have any questions. I'm here to help.